Okay, I'm finally out here with the Redcat Rampage R5. Fourth little maiden run. Well, not maiden, well, I guess you can call it maiden. From the mods that I did to it, let's see. So starting off, I put on this 1/4 inch HDP skid for the bumper support, front rear, and bolted on some roller skate wheels for the wheelie bar. I don't really think it's gonna matter that much, but it's there. And here's the front, pretty much the same thing. I only bolted to the chassis in 2 spots, but this stuff is really, really strong. I mean, this stuff is seriously strong. Makes you wonder why they don't use this stuff for arms, because this crap is really, really strong. Okay, I keep on going over that. Okay, so I fixed the shocks. I extended the shock mounts with 3/4 inch aluminum L bracket, the cheap junk that you can get from Home Depot. So front and rear, and now it has serious amount of ground clearance. I mean, that is a ton of ground clearance, and the stance is ridiculous. It has just as much ground clearance as the X-Max, which gets into the body that's on this thing. Yeah, this is the Redcat's version of the Explorer 1/5. And the Explorer 1/5, well, the original truck had the X-Max body on it. You wonder what they was trying to do with the X-Max body on this thing. So, it has the X-Max body on it. Yay. And the steering servo sucks. That's the next thing I'm going to have to get to, is making some kind of adapter to get that 1/5 scale servo on this thing, because right now it has the 1/6 scale servo on it. I wonder why people do stuff like that. So many cars, so big, and have such a tiny servo on it. But this thing is wow. It's not as fast as say 20 a Max 5 and 2028 with ridiculous gearing. It has a stock gearing, stock motor, stock ESC, punch. What the stock settings on the punch. Everything is pretty much stock on it electric wise. So let's see what it can do. It does get up with this motor. Oh, and the wheelie bar is low, so it's gonna stay on the ground. The last thing I need for this thing to be doing is getting wild with crazy vertical wheelies that wanna rip the thing to shreds. That's for later when I get the thing to where it can handle all of that. But right now, it can stay on the ground. Oh, that is perfect. You can throttle it, it gets right on the wheels, and it stays on the ground. And the stance is awesome. This is the stance that this thing needs. Now, it is top heavy with this stance, but, and it does the 2-wheel action too if you get into the turn too hard. Oh, this thing is nice. And the thing about it is that it sounds like the gears is just munching itself. But that's how it sounds. I mean, it does have that little dingling sound that the Rampage have. That most of the Rampages have. It has that sound, but it's overridden by that ridiculous. I mean, halfway crunching. That's the. I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it sounds like it's eating itself alive. And oh yeah, I do have the diffs with 100K front and rear. So, and I did check the mesh of the gears, and they're mod too, and they're huge, so they're not going anywhere. But the sound this thing makes when you take off is just ridiculous. And it does know how to roll over. And right now I don't have any of the aluminum arms or the aluminum hubs, any of that stuff that strengthens the thing. Who needs that crap? I haven't tore it up yet, and these arms are actually pretty damn flexible. All it has is it has the links, but these arms are flexible as all heck. I know this top part right in here will give out. Yeah, it'll come loose something out of that if you knock it hard enough. None of this is gonna break, but that will pop out. So I might end up getting the aluminum upper arm, but the rest of this can stay like that. I don't intend to drop a ton of money into this thing like I'm doing the Creighton. I love the Creighton, so I'll throw all the money I can at that thing. But this is one of those cheap little runners, so I might actually not change the motor out on this thing because this thing is I mean, it sounds. I can't get over that sound. Oh yeah, and I do have the hatches on it. It was in the house collecting dust, so yeah. And this thing comes with 22 millimeter hubs. The hatches are 24 millimeters. So you have to go on Redcat's site and get the 22 to 24 millimeter hub adapters. They're just some cheap plastic thing that fits right over the hub, and it lets you put on all the regular fifth scale wheels. Oh, God, this thing sounds like it's just eating its gears alive. I love it. I seriously love it. This is. Yeah. It will roll over with that high center of gravity, the higher center of gravity. Because check it out. Now, if you look at it, that angle is sick. Usually, the angle is completely flat. There is no angle. But since the bars are there to widen out the shock positions, it has that lovely angle. And it pretty much has the same ground clearance as the X-Max. Oh, you gotta love this thing. And 500 bucks, Max 6, 8S. Yes, a Max 6 on 8S, 500 bucks. Just grab your Loctite, grab a few upgrades, change out that ridiculous shock position, and you're good to go. And it sounds. That sound it's making is just sick. Oh, I almost hit it. I know the disc can handle it, but these tires won't balloon, so it'll take a while for me to get it back over. And it's 25 pounds, so yeah, let's not tempt fate. The gears on this thing are freaking enormous, but still, it'll go through a lot of, it's a lot of force to turn this thing over by self-righting it. And I love the way it's just staying on the ground. And notice that it hasn't broken yet, and I've been full throttle on this. Yeah. I really don't want to put giant balloon and tires on this thing. It can definitely handle it, because the drivetrain on this thing is absolutely solid as a rock. I mean, this is the anti-X-Max of all the drivetrains. Of course, that front CVD that runs into the output cut for the front diff, I hate that thing. But it's sorted now, so I'll deal with it. I'm still wondering why they just didn't have it as a dog bone. That would have completely solved, that would have had no problems at all if it was a dog bone. But they had to make it a CVD. That two-wheel action, I'm not about to try to hold with something that weighs this much. I mean, it's about 5 pounds heavier than the X-Max, so yeah, holding the two-wheel action with this thing is very difficult, especially since it has such ginormous 2-inch hex extensions on it. Okay, I get it. It's a buggy. It has the same buggy stance that the regular Rampage buggy has out the box, minus this chassis lift. But those 2-inch hex extensions that get the thing out another 4 inches, so it can possibly hang with being the style of a monster truck. I mean, I get it, but I don't really see how this truck can even handle those ridiculous extensions. I mean, I know it's 1/5 scale, and I know the components on it are thick as heck, but that just seems like it's just a recipe for breakages, and yet it's just going. And the sound that this is making is so ridiculous. I mean, it seriously sounds like it's just eating itself alive. When I first opened this thing up, I thought that the disc was like skipping crap, had no shims in it whatsoever. But I checked the what you call it? Oh, I'm losing it. I mean, you can open the disc from the bottom just by removing the skid plate, so you can easily check the gear mesh. And the gear mesh was fine. I'm like, okay, then let's run it. Oh God! But this thing, it's sorted. It's sorted, and it is loud. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Almost did it. But yeah, I really. I really need to sort out this servo. I mean, it works, but 30 kilograms trying to move something like this, it's worrisome. And I think that was LVC. Oh my God, I reached LVC! Redcat! Ah. See, if your work ain't good enough and long enough, yeah, I'm speechless. It reached LVC. I know I was just running on flat ground, but it finally reached LVC. Oh boy, okay, this video isn't going on long enough. It works. I don't know how many more upgrades I'm gonna put on this thing, but it's running nice now. So I'll leave it at that. Redcat.